Puja Flamm, and I'm so happy to be here and introduce to you this next session that we'll be doing of the supported cobbler's pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. This is a wonderful pose to practice to relax deeply, to release stress, to alleviate mild depression, and to support all the feminine organs and the digestive organs. So looking forward to seeing you in a minute in the studio. Thanks for joining us. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome to the studio. I'm here with Nav and I'm Sue, and we're going to be exploring one restorative pose which is named Supta Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit, or the reclining cobbler's pose. So what you will need for props are 2 blocks, an eye bag, a strap, yoga strap, a yoga bolster which Naf is sitting on top of, and a blanket for the head. Now feel free, if you don't have these things, to improvise. You can use books, you can use your bed pillows, you can use other blankets. So, work with what you have at your home. So I'm going to invite Naf to come into Baddha Konasana. So you can stay up on top of the bolster just for the moment and just bring your soles of your feet together. And while she sits there, I'm going to just take the strap and I'm going to make a loop in the strap. So we have this, and then the strap is going to come over her head and down around her pelvis, and it rests on her sacrum in the back. And then we're going to move the buckle part of the strap so that it goes under her feet and the buckle is free. It's not touching her feet or her thighs. And I'm going to have you slide off of the bolster. It's nice to have your blocks in place before you come into the pose, just so that when you're seated, you have that support that you need. And depending on the flexibility of your legs, you will tip the blocks, and they can even come up on their sides, so you can have the flat angle of the block against the leg. And then if you have any low back discomfort, you can put a palm's width between the bolster and the back. How's your low back today?
It's good.
Good. Okay. So, and then I'm going to just invite you to lay back. And I'm going to pull the blanket under her head. So because Naf has like a beautiful bun of hair behind her head, I'm just using the blanket folded at a smaller height, but you might need to have your blanket a little higher, so you want your head to be supported. And yeah, how's that feeling there?
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to invite you to just bring your arms out to your sides. Excellent. Beautiful. And then we'll just place the eye bag over her eyes. So here she is, ready to relax, and she's already calming down. She's already softening and relaxing down into her supports. So when we are in this position with the supports, what we want to do is we want to completely let go. And this is a wonderful pose to practice if you are feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling anxious, or if you're feeling tired. You can take this pose, and it is wonderful. It's a great pose to practice for women during menstruation. It's a great pose to practice if you're feeling a little bit low, a little depressed, a little bit of depression or sadness, because as you can see, it lifts the heart. And it's so good for all the feminine organs and for opening the pelvis. And what happens is when the body is supported, and I'm just going to adjust her blocks just a little bit so that she has a little bit more comfort as opposed to the edge of the block. She has the flat part of the block against her legs. And you can also put pillows there or other kinds of things to support the legs, whatever's comfortable for you, whatever you have. So when the body is supported, when the legs are supported, the whole pelvic area and the legs and the inner groin get the message that it's safe to let go. It's safe to relax. It's safe to just soften. So once you're in your pose, I'm going to invite you to soften into the earth, to soften down. And very nice. And just notice your breath for a few inhalations and exhalations now. Inhaling and exhaling, and noticing how many seconds you're inhaling and how many seconds you're exhaling. Inhaling deeply for a few breaths and exhaling. Let the exhalation be a little bit longer than your inhalation. So if you're inhaling, let's say your inhale is 4 counts or 5 counts, your exhalation will be 5 or 6 counts. Just for a couple more breaths, we'll focus on that. Allow your jaw to be relaxed. Wonderful. Now, as you notice your mind quieting, once we focus on the breath, the mind begins to quiet. So as you notice the mind quieting, also notice your body releasing toward the earth. Allow gravity to draw you down toward the earth. Nice. Your lips can be slightly touching. Your breath is through the nose if possible. It's very calming for the nervous system. And that's what we want to do in these resting poses. We're not only physically resting, but we're also calming the nervous system. And another thing that helps to calm the nervous system is having an eye bag over the eye. Now, if you don't have an eye bag, place a blanket over your head. It also, if you have the head covered, that also can help to calm the mind, just having that covering over the head. And see if you can sense the texture of your clothing or the air touching your skin. When we are able to sense the subtle textures, the subtleties of skin against air or clothing against skin, this brings us into a deeper level of rest and a deeper calming of the nervous system. And because we're living in a very active lives, most of us, many of us, and with a lot of stimulation, taking this time to simply rest for 10 or 15 minutes or 20, or as long as you have, between 10 and 20 minutes is a really nice time to just rest and allow yourself to be supported. Another thing you might like to do is to just draw your shoulder blades towards each other and open the arms just a little bit more externally rotated. Right, so just draw the shoulder blades together, which lifts the heart slightly. Right, and the shoulders go down away from the ears, and then relax again. Take your awareness inside of your body. Notice your body resting on your props. Notice your low back. If you find yourself uncomfortable, please come out of the pose, but if you're comfortable, remain. If you notice your low back is bothering you, one thing that you can do is you can take your hands to your buttocks flesh and press your buttocks flesh towards your heels so that you're opening the low back a little bit more. Excellent. And then return back to your pose. And if you hear your stomach gurgling, that's always a good sign. Because as we relax, the digestion gets soothed. And this is actually one yoga pose that you can practice even after eating. So it's actually very good for digestion. And as you can experience and feel that the heart is lifted, and we're always wanting to lift our hearts. So for the next few breaths, the next 4 breaths, I'd like to invite you to breathe in gentleness and kindness on your inhale. And on your exhale, let go of any dis-ease or distress. On your inhale, breathe in gentleness and loving kindness. And on your exhale, let go of any dis-ease or distress. And do that for 2 more times at your own rhythm. I'll be breathing with you. Enjoy the silence. Enjoy the time that you have to be with yourself, to focus on your inner experience. To become present with your inner self, with your body, with your breath, and with your moment. So the mind is either in the future or in the past. But the breath and the body are always in the moment. So when you find yourself agitated or the mind working a lot, those are 2 tips for bringing yourself back into the moment. One is focusing on your breath, and one is focusing on your body and what you're feeling inside of your body. And I'm not just talking about the physical body, though that is included, but are you feeling agitated inside? Is there something emotional going on? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling calm? So it's not important so much what you're feeling at any one moment, but that when you're connecting to that inner place inside, so you're knowing what you're feeling inside, and then you can attend to it if necessary, or simply be with what is. So notice your breath once again. And if you'd like, in a moment we're going to be coming out of the pose. If you would like to stay in the pose, you're always welcome. But I'm going to just explain how we'll be coming out of the pose. So feel free to remove your eye bag. And then those of you who are using a belt, you can loosen your belt and slip your feet out, extend the legs. And then we're going to bring our hands to the sides of the body, palms facing down, and we're going to come up in one movement. So you're going to take the chin to the chest, use your arms, and come on up. Yes, nice. So you're going to use your abdominal muscles and your arms. Nice. that will be our pose for today. How are you feeling? Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us. Namaste.